Take a good look. You may not know who this guy is, but several NFL analysts have called him the best linebacker in the NFL. Who is he? Jeff.
That is NaVorro Bowman of the San Francisco 49ers, and yes, he is considered to be that good of a player. In fact, Roddy White, Atlanta Falcons wide receiver, said that when they played the 49ers last year in the NFC Championship game, they were most concerned with him as opposed to Aldon Smith or Patrick Willis or Justin Smith, any of the other great defenders on the 49ers defense. But this story really isn't so much about what NaVorro Bowman's done on the field. It's really about his life away from the field. This past summer, he decided to take a trip to North Carolina, really to face a huge secret in his life. For him, family means everything. And as he found out, his family wasn't anything close to what he thought it was. It's July in Concord, North Carolina, 25 miles outside of Charlotte. NaVorro Bowman is nearing the final stop in his search for the truth. A truth that haunts him. A truth that is buried here.
When we pulled up to the gravesite, it felt like the end. The last time I would think about him, the last time I would mention his name, it felt like, let me say my last words to you.
Tell you the truth.
Hey, let's go, dude. Pick it up.
San Francisco 49ers linebacker NaVorro Bowman isn't one to back down from confrontation. Now in his fourth NFL season, NaVorro's hard-hitting play has earned him a Pro Bowl selection,
And sacked by Bowman.
a Super Bowl appearance, and a $45 million contract extension. But it wasn't until this summer that the 25-year-old finally got the courage to confront a lie that threatened to forever alter how he sees family and fatherhood.
I want people to really know who I am. You know, this is something that I've been holding in, you know, my whole life.
NaVorro Bowman's story begins in this house in District Heights, Maryland, a gritty suburb of Washington, D.C. He was the youngest of three boys raised by Johnsey and Hillard Bowman.
I was blessed to have both of mine. I knew that, you know, to keep a household up, you know, you needed two parents. My mom and my dad, I mean, you know, it was all about us.
NaVorro's mother worked at a fast food restaurant, his father for the local power company. He also made extra money working in his garage, fixing cars when he wasn't racing them. Despite working long hours, NaVorro's father never missed his son's games.
He was always in his corner. He didn't have to worry about that football practice, basketball practice, like I said, traveling, being there, and that meant everything to NaVorro for him to be able to be there.
My dad used to sit right here in this corner every single Saturday and just videotape. Even though I was out there making most of the plays, he still was up there quiet. You know, he wasn't cheering loud or nothing like that. And I think that's where I get my quietness from.
NaVorro became a two-way star at Suitland High School, playing running back and linebacker. He was recruited by programs such as Ohio State and Virginia Tech, but ultimately chose linebacker U, Penn State, just 4 hours from home.
My father, he had his race car trailer parked right here. When I made it to college, he sold his race car, sold his trailer, and got an RV so he could come to my college football games.
June of 2008, the summer before NaVorro's sophomore season at Penn State. He learned his father had broken his ankle playing basketball and needed to have surgery. 1 week later, NaVorro's older brother Travis called.
I said, brother, I just went into the house and found Pop. He said, what you mean I found Pop? I said, Pop is gone.
I just went in complete silence. I really didn't know what to say or anything like that.
Hilliard Bowman died from a blood clot that developed after his operation. He was 52.
My dad was the rock of the family. He made sure everything is in order. And when he passed away, I looked at myself, drop everything and go home and help mama.
NaVorro drove home and told his mother he was quitting football.
I said to him, well, I can't let you quit, and your father would not be very happy with you if you quit.
NaVorro returned to Penn State and played on. That season, he led the team in tackles and earned first-team All-Big Ten honors. Just months after his father's death, NaVorro was back home having lunch with his godmother.
We went to Cheesecake Factory and we was, just having a great conversation. And then she said something about Tracy, and and I don't know who Tracy was, so I'm sitting there like who was Tracy? And her facial expression just changed so suddenly. She's like, you don't know who Tracy is? I'm like, no.
Tracy was Tracy Andrews, an old acquaintance of his mother's who had been in and out of jail for using and selling drugs.
And she was like, that's your real father. I just paused. Of course, I started breaking down, and, the lunch ended. I'm driving home, and I'm thinking about, how to approach my mom, or what I'm gonna say to my mom.
He just asked, why didn't, you tell me? And I just basically told him because at that time, it was your father and I were going through some things. We had both made some mistakes. You're not a mistake. Okay, but, things happen.
My mom was just sitting there on the couch, and I just started crying, I was just crying my eyes out, because I worked so hard, man, to... I just wish I knew him, I don't know, if it was my child, in another family, I would have came and just tried to find my child, Or just build some type of relationship with him.
NaVorro would never get that chance, even as an adult. He learned that Tracy Andrews had recently passed away. In the span of a few months, NaVorro lost the biological father he never knew and the father who raised him.
I knew NaVorro was going through something during the time before he told me, but I didn't know what. He cried, and then he was like, I just can't tell you. I'm like, what's wrong? I would always say, what's wrong, what's wrong? He would never tell me.
Over the next 3 years, NaVorro and his fiancée, Mikhail, had 3 children together, NaVorro Jr. and twins Callie and Stoney. During the 2011 lockout, NaVorro finally shared his secret with Mikhail.
NaVorro has children of his own, and you should want to know who your family is and meet them. Everybody want to know who their family is, their real family.
I want to meet my family. I just want to, talk to them, see my genes, see where all this came from, who else is athletic like me, who talks like me, who does anything like us.
This past summer, After learning that his biological father had other children, NaVorro and his fiancée traveled to North Carolina to meet them for the first time.
What's your name?
Lakaya.
Lakaya, how you doing?
Good.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
How old are you?
9.
You 9? Oh, yeah.
What's going on, man? Oh, man. Love it. Live it. Yeah, man. What's good?
NaVorro also met his nephews.
Go.
Oh, Brick! You gotta get the ball, Brick! Brick, that was a touchdown, Brick!
The box of my leg.
I put it right here. Go. Go, Brick! Touchdown! Touchdown!
What I'm talking about, man?
And his half-sister, Jamel.
Hey. That's my fiance. That's my sister.
For the first time, NaVorro saw photos of his biological father.
That's him. You could be his lookalike. Like, yeah. You don't see that? Yeah, you see it. Y'all look just alike.
NaVorro learned that his biological father had been a star football player in high school and discovered what finally happened to him.
Like, I don't know if y'all know, but like he didn't just die, like he got killed. He got killed out here in this neighborhood.
Now, where'd you find him at when he was dead?
Up there in the top, you know how when you was coming in, there was a side street. Over on that side street.
NaVorro's biological father was shot in the chest and killed during a scuffle with a neighbor. It was later ruled self-defense.
Right there?
Yeah. It kind of like happened right there at the White House. Like they was struggling over there in the yard or whatever, fighting. And then I guess by the time he tried to make it over here, he landed right there.
The man who shot Tracy Andrews still lives in the neighborhood.
Oh, he home?
Yeah.
That's him right there in that white shirt? Get in that car?
In the blue car?
Yeah.
Yep. You know, he won't even look at me. That's him.
That's the dude who what?
That shot my daddy.
You the one who shot him? Man, that's crazy.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah. It was hard.
You good.
Yo.
Coincidentally, he came out the house at the time I was looking at, where my father died at. That's just a coincidence that, I'll see the guy face to face who killed my father. Now we're gonna go to his burial site and probably say a few words.
At the end of the day, NaVorro finally went to see his biological father.
You never seen me play, man. But I'm doing it. Taking the truth.
In 2013 is NaVorro Bowman's first season playing football knowing the truth. The truth of his biological father, of the father who raised him, and of the father he wants to be.
I love my kids, man. They make me smile, every single day, even when I don't feel like it. And they really just keep me going.
No, you're not.
I got you.
How does this affect the way you look at Hilliard and what he did for you?
I love him more, man. He's taking care of kids that's not even his and treating us like we was his own. Just the type of character I want to have, integrity I want to have, man I want to be.
The best stories in sports. This is an E60 feature presentation.
I got another debate since we talk sports.
It's early October, and the Ravens' 24-year-old star running back is enjoying his bye week.
Super Bowl pick for the quarter of the way through.
Ravens and Green Bay. Ravens and Green Bay.
I respect y'all opinion. Like, look, listen, if we was 1-3 right now, I wouldn't expect y'all to pick us, but I'm just saying.
Ray Rice is getting a haircut, a shave, and telling stories about his very first training camp with Baltimore.
I got to get into my demonstration mode now. I get the ball, Ray Lewis is right there. Poll question is, what do you think I did?
Man up.
You think I man up?
You got a man up?
He think I manned up.
I think you put a move on him or something. I think you try to run through him. I think you try to outrun him.
Well, I'm going to like to tell y'all, I took the fastest sprint to the sideline I could take. I was scared.
I ran to him, I said, listen, don't you ever go east and west in this business. You know, the day you walk in, you find your way going north and south. That's always your path.
Rice has taken the lesson well. The 5'8", 215-pound Pro Bowler has become the offensive counterpunch to the Ravens' legendary defense, racking up more than 5,000 all-purpose yards in his 3.5 years with the team.
Touchdown, Ray Rice!
He is our offense. And that's no secret. You know, our offense goes how he goes.
But what has impressed Ray Lewis, who's become Rice's mentor, and so many of his other Ravens teammates, is the running back's personal story.
For him to go through all of those things at a very young age, and then to muster up enough strength, enough focus to keep going, no matter the pain of death, no matter the value of size, let everybody else talk, and you just keep on working. And that's the product that you get when you see Ray Rice.
I never became, you know, a product of the situation. I had to find ways to come past the situation. You trying to take a picture because I look good? Where I grew up at, this is 345 and 361 Main Street, also known as the Hollow.
For Rice, this is home. The projects in New Rochelle, New York, an otherwise largely affluent city about 20 miles north of Manhattan.
Then when I score, what we gotta do? When we gonna score, what we gotta do? Yeah, they got look, the whole playground, yeah. You go from bottom up. My apartment is 6A, right there, the first apartment to the left.
This is where you learned to play football?
That's out of bounds. This would be considered out of bounds.
All right.
Because, you know, we only had this kind of space, so the quarterback would be right here. You know, I would just be running routes, and obviously the pavement up there is the end zone.
Okay.
And back, that pavement down there was the end zone.
I mean, did this teach you anything, having to play on this, which is, let's be honest, not the nicest place to play football?
It made me tough.
From the beginning, Rice had to face bigger challenges than most. In 1988, when he was just a year old, his father, Calvin Reed, was walking in nearby Mount Vernon, New York, when he was gunned down in a drive-by shooting. Reed was not the intended victim. He was shot by mistake.
I dropped the phone and I just screamed because it was tragic. Very. I can't even explain what I felt at that time. I just started screaming.
People say I'm a splitting image of him. My Father's Day, I always wish, you know, kids want to go for that walk in the park. I never had that walk in the park.
The man who shot Rice's father was convicted of first-degree manslaughter. He served 7.5 years in prison and was released in January of 1999.
Have you ever come into
I
contact
would never
with
want
him?
to see that guy. I would literally go crazy if I seen that guy. I don't want to see him. I don't know who he is, and I'm not sure if he wants to face me.
Is there anything that you would want to say to him?
Man, I try not to wish evil on nobody, but, you know, seriously, you killed my father, burn in hell.
The death of Rice's father forced his mother Janet to work several jobs at once, barely making ends meet.
I remember going to the store with food stamps. My mom saying, hey, go to the store, get milk, go get eggs. I remember them days. I remember my mom working for $6 an hour at a child care place and getting fired.
I remember coming home from work and I was really shattered in tears, crying. And Ray came in from football practice, and he said, I want to be able to tell you, Mom, don't worry.
We didn't know what we was gonna do. There's fast money out there. Do I need to go hustle or do that? I never reverted to that. I never reverted to the streets.
Instead, Rice found a role model to fill the void left by his father, his cousin, Maishawn Rice Nichols, known affectionately as Soup. 13 years older than Ray, Soup was a rising rapper with a record deal and a CD on the way.
Everybody loved Soup. He was, great person. He was actually the first one in the family to say, I want to do something, and went out and did it. And he was an artist.
He was a go-getter. He inspired Ray to do what he's doing today.
He was the guy I used to go for walks in the park with. So he was, take me to the basketball court. He was, had me on the pull-up bar.
So he did a lot of the things that your dad would have done with you.
Exactly.
Maishawn was also the one who stoked Ray's interest in football. But in 1998, Maishawn, then just 24 years old, was at the wheel when his car was struck by a drunk driver.
And then you lost him.
Then I lost him. There were certain times in my life where I didn't know whether to revert to good or bad. That was one of the moments.
Soon after Maishawn's death, an 11-year-old Rice was caught at school with a pellet gun.
They brought him to the police station. They talked to him. They also gave him community service.
When the principal and the assistant principal sat me in the office and they were crying, then I realized, whoa, hold on. I got people who care about me now. Life-changing moment.
And you said to yourself, never again.
Never again. If I would have had, a couple bad decisions, sometimes it's one bad decision, my dream could have became a nightmare.
Rice's dream to get to the NFL, to support his family, still had a ways to go. Despite leading his high school team to a state title in 2003 and being named first-team All-State, Rice was lightly recruited by Division I colleges. He accepted a scholarship from Rutgers in nearby New Jersey.
And here is Rice with a beautiful moment into the open field. Here goes Ray Rice. Touchdown, Ray Rice.
Rice led the Scarlet Knights to 3 straight bowl games and became the school's all-time leading rusher in just 3 seasons. He decided to forego his senior year and enter the 2008 draft.
I was told that I was going to be the 45th pick of the 2008 NFL draft by the Detroit Lions. And as them picks go rolling by, I'm 44, 45, my name don't get called. I literally had to go walk out of the room and let some steam out.
You don't sound like you're over it.
Never gonna get over it.
After 6 other running backs were drafted, the Ravens finally selected Rice with the 55th pick. He promised them they wouldn't regret it.
Ray Rice still on his feet, 15-10, 5, touchdown, Ray Rice!
He can explode on impact, man. He can knock you out or he can make you miss.
He catches the ball out the backfield. He finds holes and runs for 50-plus yards. I mean, the guy has the heart of a lion.
He's got Rice, 5-yard line, turns the corner, in, touchdown, Ravens!
It's not about your size. It's about making plays. So that makes him a giant on the field.
Lewis is 12 years Rice's senior. The two have become extremely close. They're known around the Ravens complex as Big Ray and Little Ray. And this past offseason, Lewis asked for Rice's locker to be placed next to his.
He's like a younger brother, Everything happens for a reason. We were meant to meet. We were meant to share these stories, and we were meant to go through whatever we're going to go through together.
What has he talked to you about? His dad dying when he was so young and his cousin who he was so close to?
Yeah, everything. Everything. And that's why I think we became the closest, because we actually started to share stories, share stories of pain, that ultimately turned into drive, and will. And that's what he's been fueled by.
Entering my middle school, I'm going to bother my mammy.
Now, Ray Rice, the kid from the projects of New Rochelle, who made it to the NFL because he made the right decisions, is determined to help other kids make those decisions too.
You got the next one?
Yeah.
His mother is a special ed teacher, and he often visits her classrooms.
All right, let's play now.
as well as his former youth football fields.
He's gone! 1 or 2 bad decisions, that dream can become a nightmare. So as y'all all young right now, respect your parents, do your schoolwork, and have fun playing football.
To see him now and where he's came from a youngster, it's beautiful to watch.
Get on the ground. No, get my push-up. It's about leaving a legacy. And Ray Lewis always asks, what will your legacy be? My story is no different than a lot of people's story. I've been hurt so much throughout my life. If you can change within yourself, then you can help change others. That change helped me evolve into who I am today.
On 3 family, all right? 1, 2, 3. All right.